Let's go!
Smash TV was released in 1990 by Williams Electronics. A top-down twin-stick shooter, Eugene Jarvis and Mark Turmell created the game after the success of Robotron 2084, which popularised the twin-stick control scheme. Jarvis had co-created Robotron with Larry Damar as the indie developer VidKids. In a Reddit AMA, Mark Turmell stated, "My favourite game of all time is Robotron 2084. I joined Williams Electronics midway specifically to revive the dual joysticks of that game. That game still holds up today." Turmell also hired on John Tobias, whose brilliant artwork and animations lent the game its uniquely visceral style. Tobias would go on to create the visuals for Mortal Kombat, and like that game there was a backlash in some quarters over Smash TV's violence, leading to the addition of a violence slider to placate certain European operators. According to Turmell, no one actually used it, and it only really affected the geyser of blood that erupts from the boss character Mutoid Man upon his death. In many ways a spiritual sequel to Robotron, then Smash TV doubled down on the twin-stick control scheme, but the game's tone was much more tongue-in-cheek. The setting is a violent reality TV show where contestants must fight for survival through multiple arenas filled with baseball bat-wielding thugs, cyborgs that are part man, part tank, and waddling oafs who explode in showers of shrapnel. Gift-wrapped prizes, gold bars and wads of cash litter the game space, while the game's smarmy sequin-suited announcer comments in the background with one-liners like "Big money, big prizes, I love it," and in a callback to RoboCop,
I'd buy that for $1.
Half the fun of the game for me is this satirical setting. It does a great job of parodying game shows like The Price is Right and The Generation Game, with rewards up for grabs such as a brand new toaster or a year's supply of meat products. As the view scrolls between arenas, camera crews are visible behind the walls, eerily foreshadowing the reality TV boom of the 2000s. They do say good sci-fi should explore contemporary issues in a future setting, and while Smash TV may not be highbrow speculative fiction, it nails the morbid voyeurism of shows like Big Brother perfectly. The game is set in 1999, so they missed Big Brother's first series by just a year. Graphically, the game nails the premise. It's gaudy and over the top with a Verhoeven-style ultra-violence that fits perfectly. Enemies die in plumes of blood, and when you step on a mine, your character explodes in a shower of body parts with eyeballs spinning towards the camera. Complementing this visceral spectacle are the gun sounds. Your basic weapon, an automatic rifle, sounds great. It also sounds really good when the bullets actually impact the enemy. And also the power-ups, which don't last long, but they're fun while they do. There's a triple shot, which is my favourite, as well as a couple of types of grenade launcher, missile launcher, and some shields that not only protect you, they keep you fighting so you can run over enemies, shredding them. Very satisfying after dying so often yourself. The game is really hard, really hard. You'll use multiple continues on your way to game show glory, particularly against the game's bosses that easily mow you down. How you get to them is up to you, with different paths available through the various rooms. Do you take the direct route or veer towards one of the special bonus rooms for more cash and more prizes? It's a nice touch that adds a level of replayability that was not present in that many arcade games at the time. The twin-stick control scheme has always been a favourite of mine. It's incredibly simple, and you know, in recent years it's become more familiar with, we're all kind of used to dual analog, but I always liked it back in the day, even when it was less of a common thing, and it still works to this day. It's very, very simple, but it gives skilled players the ability to dominate. And but there was a question from the developers at the time when Smash TV and perhaps others that used twin sticks didn't do as well as developers thought. Maybe it was a control scheme that wasn't as intuitive for as many people. It's a little bit niche. Not all players are able to kind of, at the time, get their heads around it, move one direction, fire in another direction. But in the intervening years, we've kind of become so used to that with modern FPS gaming, for instance. Only towards the end of Smash TV did I feel like I'd had enough, and that wasn't because of the control scheme or anything like that, or the feedback. It's just the overwhelming hordes of enemies and dying so much that was starting to wear a little thin. In conclusion, Smash TV is a rare beast, a game with a satirical premise in a time when games were pretty on the nose usually. You're the good guy, you shoot the aliens and the gangsters, save the planet or the girl. In Smash TV, you're an amoral game show contestant hell-bent on striking it rich with an audience who would just as soon see you die horribly as win the day. The game holds up, in my opinion, but it'll test your patience as you near the end because of its insane difficulty. I love it!
Total carnage! I love it!
Thank you for watching this retrospective and review. I hope you'll watch some more. There are many on my channel coming up here for you to choose from. If you'd like to pop by the channel and subscribe, I try to do these videos fairly regularly. So I hope to see you there, and thanks again for watching. Bye!